If you're anything like me, your favourite mugs don't survive very long. Devastating. But after mourning some recent losses, I decided to try something new, bringing my precious deceased darlings back to life using the Japanese art of Kintsugi, which uses a gold paste to bring new life to something once broken. I want to turn two of my favourite broken mugs into beautiful cottagecore displays, complete with dried wildflowers straight from the English countryside. I've never dried flowers before, and I've certainly never done kintsugi, but they're both things I've always wanted to try out, and I'm curious if they'll look good combined. So let's see if they're beginner friendly. Let's give it a shot. Because the flower drying process takes a few days, we're going to gather these first, and then I'm going to figure out, how do I kintsugi? The UK has really strict rules when it comes to wildflower picking. Like, literally, you could end up going to jail for picking the wrong flower. Just out here being the buttercup bandit. So today we're heading out to the Southwold Flower Company, a wildflower picking field in Suffolk, to choose the flowers that I want for this display without fear of ending up behind bars. Okay, so we've got two vases because I've got two broken mugs to fix. There's so many beautiful options here. It's a little bit windy, but I think we'll cope. I'm wanting some very cute scattered style flowers like gypsophilia, little daisies. I'm sure I'll put something together that looks nice. So I'm gonna get started. That's very pretty. I keep feeling like I'm watching people around the field and thinking, no, they're gonna get to my flower first, but there's like millions of flowers here, so that's just my hoarding instinct, I think. Oh, this is already like way too full and I'm gonna want more. I can already tell. All the little scattered ones are just so pretty. Even the bulbs are really cute. That one. I want that one right there. Okay, let's get it. I also get this like little bulb if I get the whole thing. Let's go with an excessive amount then. Haha, got it. I was maybe a bit ambitious with my stem. Yeah, we got a good haul today, guys. Look at all that. That is looking really good. Okay, so we are all done now for the day. This has been a really, really lovely experience. The people here, lovely and accommodating to all of our filming nonsense. There was just so many options. I needed to possess every single flower. So we've got all the flowers now. I just have to figure out how to dry them without ruining them. With that, I'm gonna go rest my toesies. I'm gonna drive back on home and I'll see you in the studio. All right, see you in a bit, guys. Okay, these beauties are now in the studio. As you can see, I got a lot. I did not hold back. I grabbed as many as my grubby mitts could handle. I wanted to give myself a good chance. Something will work. I want to try and maintain shape and color. I've got a couple of different methods. I want to try the traditional air drying, just tying them up with string, hanging them upside down in a dark corner of the studio. That should reduce color fade. Apparently, that should be fine. The second one is using silica gel. This gel is the same gel that you get in the little tiny sachets, and it's essentially a gel that absorbs moisture from the air. Because it's faster than air drying, it should preserve the color. It's very lightweight. It shouldn't crush the petals once they're covered in it. There is a final technique where you do this in a microwave. I think it's a sort of last resort if you really are in a pinch and you've decided to speed dry some flowers. So now I'm going to separate out all of these flowers, have a go tying some of them up, and then we'll pop some of them in an airtight container with this, and we'll see how it goes. All right, come on everybody. So to start off with, I want to get rid of any of the dead flowers, any of the dead leaves, and just kind of neaten everybody up. I think there's a sort of Victorian romance to a slightly wilted flower, so I'm not looking to get rid of any wilting, but any small, obviously dead bits, I'm just gonna get rid of. Leaves look so lovely in the display, but in actuality, they're just gonna go brown. So I'm gonna get rid of them. Only flowers and bulbs here. There's just something so relaxing about quietly sorting plants. It feels like you're back with your ancestors, and I'm very curious to see how it pairs with the very clean, clear lines of Kintsugi. So if I can dry these flowers successfully, I am going to be unstoppable. You are making my hands sting a little bit. I could get gloves, but that's not gonna happen. Someone in the comments tell me, this flower, should I let it sting my hands? You let me know whether you reckon I'm gonna have regrets later. Okay, all of the plants have now been separated out. So we've got one side for the air dry and one side for the silica gel. Which one am I gonna do first? Okay, I think I will pop the silica gel ones to one side for the moment, and we'll get these hung up. Here we go. Put you guys in there. No crushing, no nothing. Okay, and then this is what I'm gonna use to hang the flowers from, I think. This is actually a vintage Le Creuset stand that I got off Facebook Marketplace for like £5. It's got all these like slots at the top, and it's also got some hooks underneath. So I think I can kind of jiggery-pokery put things through the holes like that. How aesthetic is that? So I'm gonna tie these up with just a bit of twine, hang them from the hooks, slot them through the gaps, and just leave them to dry. I thought it was looking a little bit wobbly, and then that's when I found its center beam. And that in there. There we go. Now it's secure. Some twine so that everything is suitably aesthetic. I would love to learn how to grow my own wildflowers, but I'm gonna be the first to admit I'm a terrible gardener. I get really invested, and then it takes one hot season for me to just be like, I quit. I can do interior stuff, DIY, gimme a hammer, you know? But when it comes to gardening, I don't know, it just all falls apart. A Le Creuset stand, y'all. I think this is perfect because this stand actually packs down flat. So this could be a portable flower drying rack. Okay, all right, we're getting somewhere, we're getting somewhere. Are you kidding me? That looks so cute. A Le Creuset pot stand. Mwah. What a happy accident. Okay, right, let me pop this to one side and then we'll do the silica gel. So, plastic box, flowers, silica gel, and a mask. You literally pour this into an airtight container, seal it up, leave it for a couple of days, check in on it and see how it's going. Oh, it is way too hot for that. Okay, flowers are all in. Let's put this to bed and then I'm gonna go to bed too. And I'll see you in a little bit with the results. Good morning. So just gonna do a quick 5-day check-in on how the flowers are doing. So here they all are. They're looking pretty good. They are very delicate and they've shrunk down a lot, which was to be expected. Some of them have shrunk down a lot. This used to be much, much bigger and the petals have really whittled away. The Gypsophilia type ones are looking really nice and are kind of holding that structure, and I'm adoring these. They're like little lanterns. These rosebuds are gonna take the longest to dry. Roses are quite full of water and then their buds even more so, but they're drying quite nicely. But as you can kind of see, even me just being vaguely near them starts having petals dropping. The cornflowers, they've really retained their vibrancy. You can kind of see this like pop of blue, but they are very, very delicate. I'm really quite nervous about taking those off. But yeah, I think maybe one more day they'll be ready to go. All right, let's get you guys down. Okay, everybody's looking okay. Oh, they're definitely drier. So the silica gel will lose its orange the more water it's absorbed. So as long as there's still orange in here, there's still absorption capabilities. These are feeling a lot more brittle, but kind of sturdier. Okay, the cornflowers are still dropping their petals quite a bit. So I'm starting to think that cornflowers need a more experienced touch than my beginner basics, because they really are kind of falling apart quite quickly. And what about the rosebuds? All right, so the rosebuds have dried more effectively and they are definitely retaining their colour. All right, I want to leave them both for just one more day, and in the meantime I'm going to start trying the Kintsugi, see how complicated that's going to be, and then I've got one other little idea that I've had that is just a little bonus. All right, let's pop you back. Kintsugi. This is a kit that I got off of Amazon, and it says that it comes with everything that I should need. All right, what have we got? The instruction books, thank goodness for that. Ooh, 2 little bowls. It's got 2 bowls for us to practice on. We've got epoxy A resin, epoxy hardener, some gloves, a little spatula, and the gold powder. So that is everything that comes in this kit. So the idea with Kintsugi, basically an epoxy or a glue of some sort that is then mixed with gold, and then you can use that to repair your pottery. And the results are really, really pretty. They look like this, and it's the philosophy of we're made more beautiful by the scars that we gain over the course of our lives. So it's a really lovely idea, and I'm a real sucker for gold. Please read the below safety notices very carefully. This is highly flammable. Only use outdoors or in a well-ventilated area. Wear protective gloves and eye protection. Adhesive can bond skin and eyes in seconds. wear protective clothing. I didn't realise I was gonna have to be covered in head to toe gear in this heat wave. But I guess that's what we're doing now. Protected. It's got thumb holes, so that's cute, and glasses because protective eyewear. So I've smashed up one of the bowls. Okay, Jess, come on, you break stuff all the time. We can do this. Hey. So you take a bit of masking tape, put it along the crack, rip that away. You then file the edges of the crack so it just kind of perforates along that line exactly. That then means that you've got a nice sharp line. So then you paint the glue onto either side, put it together, and then just kind of neaten it up. I'm nervous about this. All right, let me just get all of these pieces masked up and then we'll be good to go. Okay, so we've gotten the bowl all taped up. Now I have to actually mix this. Where's my little spatula gone? Where's my spatula? Why am I like this? Have you seen my spatula? I don't know where it's gone. Instead, I took the end off of a Q-tip. It's just so that I can mix it because I'm gonna paint it on with the paintbrushes anyway. We'll get into the gold powder, which is locked up like 4 frickin' knocks. I want my gold. Oh, there's a tag. Gold. I'm gonna put 2 blobs of the different resin on this card, mix them together, and then paint them on. All right, let's go. I'm really chuffed with that. The masking tape has definitely helped to keep control of the epoxy. And you know what? Didn't take very long. The longest part was honestly preparing the pieces, and that is the way it should be. We're moving on to the actual mugs. These mugs are 2 of my absolute favorites, so I'm so glad that this technique seems to be working and we can give these mugs a new lease on life. We've got a Jerry Harper mug who is a 70s potter who was based up in Yorkshire. They're quite rare, unfortunately, and especially like this one, I've not been able to find a replacement for it. And the second mug is one of my favorites from Myrtle and Thyme. I've gotten a couple of pieces from her. I guess I'm just gonna have to get more. So we're gonna restore both of these. I'm really excited and I'm really nervous. So game faces on, people. Let's get them all wrapped up in masking tape and then we'll get to fixing them. All right, everybody's all wrapped up like little ceramic mummies. I'm feeling quietly optimistic. Let's give it a shot. So just as we're doing this, I am noticing a couple of problems. The handles in particular are being very tricky. The shape is being a little bit difficult to wrangle. Let me just show you. It really does show if you don't mix the epoxy right. This, absolutely fine. This one has broken off entirely. Yes, I'm gonna have to redo the handles, let them dry separately, then stick them on. And then I'm also seeing this. Can you see there's gaps? So I'm gonna need to go over the cracks and fill them in a bit more deliberately. But we're learning. But I think it's just patience and not being afraid to need to go over things again. But we're getting there. It is working. It's just a bit fiddly. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so everything is now glued together, I think. Overall, I think it's looking pretty good. So I'm gonna leave these to dry overnight, and then we'll start kind of doing all the finishing touches and getting these displays together. This might be a new hobby for me because this is really fun. All right, I'm gonna go chill out for the evening and I'll see you guys in the morning. Bye. And we're back. I have got to say, I'm really impressed that they are sticking together. This one in particular, I was really worried about because it's missing a chunk. I think I've kind of managed to work it so that it looks more deliberate by painting the gold. I mean, you tell me, do you think it works? I haven't got an option, I've lost the piece. So I've just got to peel off the masking tape and then we're gonna start pulling this whole display together. I'm feeling pretty confident, but those can sometimes be famous last words. So let's get this all peeled off and have a look at the results. It did actually work. I'm really pleased. I have one final thing that I want to make to just finish these off. I was looking on Pinterest and I saw flower frogs. I don't know why they're called frogs, but they're super cute. And I just thought that having something doily-like just resting on top of these would just be the final little cottagey, burrowy detail that these mugs needed. So I'm gonna pop these to one side, get out some polymer clay, and we'll have a little play. All right, got the supplies. With this one, I think I don't want the frog to hide the little gold chip. I don't want to model it straight onto the mug. Do you guys match? Bonk. Yeah. And do you fit? Near enough, you'll be fine. Okay, so we're gonna use these jars as like our model because these can go in the oven. These, with this epoxy, I'm not putting that in the oven. I don't trust those fumes. I've gathered some of my different cutters as well. I want it to look like a cute little doily that's just been thrown over one of these mugs and then flowers are growing out of it. I don't know, don't question it, that's just what I want. What I'm thinking of doing with this one is like not putting it straight over the top, but maybe like it's kind of almost slipping. That could work. And then this one, I'm just gonna keep it nice and simple. So we'll probably go with this oval. So one there, one there. All right, let's do it. Okey-doke, so we've got these two little froggies rolled out, and what I want to do now is give them some decoration. I have seen people pressing lace trim into polymer clay. Okay, we go. Who wants to get on the chopping block? Got some different bits. I think what I'm gonna do is roll out a little sample of clay and then we can kind of see what looks right. Right, okay, there's a little sample. So I've got like lace appliques like this. See what that looks like. Ooh. Oh my goodness, that's cute. Look at that. All right. Who's next? Got a little bit of lace that's like that. Okay. Ooh. Okay, this is now my new favorite game. Look at this. Like, that's come out so nice. If I use that scalloped edge, I could then cut along it and then I have that real doily look. The only other one that's really speaking to me is the lace that I used on my large skirt, which is like that. Okay, let's see. Stop, that is so cute. Look at that. Well, that was nice and simple. I'm gonna use these two bits of lace to go around the edge and then put in the holes for the flowers to go in, and then we'll pop them in the oven. So let's get these imprints done. It's all coming together, folks. I'm really pleased with how the doilies came out. This looks so much like a napkin has just been dropped in the mug. I'm really pleased with this one. And so that's it. We're now gonna bring them all together. The flowers are all feeling pretty dried. The ones that have been drying naturally in the air could maybe go for a couple more days, but your girl's on a deadline. But how are you guys doing in the silica gel? These are feeling sturdier. They've held their color really well and they feel more structurally sound. Right, okay, that's it. I'm gonna take a nice calm breath. All the pieces are now gonna start coming together. I'm gonna finish off these displays. Hopefully they don't all disintegrate into a million pieces. And then I'll see you guys in the reveal. All right, let's get going. It is ridiculous how much joy this brings me. I'm really pleased with how these have come out. I think they're really sweet. Is this the most ambitious and big project in the world? No. Is it something I'm going to do again? 100%. Okay, so first let's talk about the dried flowers. I am obsessed with this. Both the silica gel and the air drying worked equally well. I've mixed the flowers together. I literally cannot tell which one of these I did with which method, which is a huge plus. The silica gel, a very, very effective way of doing it if you need to do it a bit faster, but also air drying them looks so nice. It's a functional ornament and I just, the Kintsugi, I mean, it worked. For me, the gold lines on the final product for these mugs is just a little bit too thin. I think I put the masking tape too close to the edge. I almost made it too neat. If you're wanting to give this a go, I'd say use the masking tape, file it away from the line just a smidge so that the gold can be a bit more of a feature. I would also say it works better on a less busy ceramic. On this one, you can't really tell that it's had any work done to it. I think this is certainly something I'm going to want to revisit and see if I can push it further. And then finally, just the little frogs. I think these are really cute. They need a bit of refining. I kind of rushed them a little bit. I think this one I'm less keen on. I think that it's just kind of sat a bit flat, but this one, I love how this is looking like a napkin that has just been draped on the mug. Happy accident, the lace matches the flower. So I would really like to experiment more with this idea of like draping the clay. The dried flowers, is it beginner friendly? Absolutely, 10 out of 10. I highly encourage you to go and use it. The Kintsugi, do I think that's beginner friendly? Yeah, I think it's a little bit fiddlier, but I would still say it's very accessible. I want to go and try it on some different things. I'm like wanting to go to thrift shops and get picture frames, little statues, mirrors, and smash them all up and piece them all together and see what happens. So overall, this has been a really nice little project, and thank you guys. It's been really, really hot here in the UK, which has made working very difficult, but these have really been a success. If you have any tips and tricks on any of these crafts, please do leave them down in the comments. I always really appreciate them. You inform my practice and you inform the community, so I really appreciate your feedback, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.